the Arab world is really happening now, but it's not a sudden movement. It's not something that happened today or last year or in the past couple of years. It's been happening for more than 10 years. Back in '98, it was the start of the internet, almost out of the dark ages of the internet in the Arab world, when we started having more cheaper access to internet. So I personally could not afford about $15 an hour for internet. But when the internet became cheaper, I started getting online. And we realized that there's a lot of potential to put things on the internet, express. And for the first time, we started seeing what other cultures and other people in other countries are saying and thinking, rather than just listening to what the government-controlled media has to say. And one of the first sites we accessed was a site called GeoCities. It's dead now, but it played a very major role in a lot of people's lives back then. It allowed people to create websites for free on the internet, and we were one of those people. And then we realized that the Arab world needs something like this to allow them to create content and publish their thoughts and ideas on the internet in order to communicate with other cultures. And we came up with an idea to build a portal that hosts everybody for free and allows them to build websites in a very easy way without even speaking English. For the first time, a child of 14 years old could have a web page for himself on the internet. That was in the year 2000. What resulted was surprising even to us. It's the age of the people using Jeeran to build websites. We expected it would be the business people making use of the internet and getting online, getting their businesses online through Jeeran for free. But what we discovered, it was children, school kids, going on the internet and creating a page that says, this is a picture of my class, I'm in this school, I'm 12 years old, and this is my picture. And most of the people use Jeeran for that. And this was actually expressive of the internet generation and how it started in the Arab world. And speaking about cross-cultural dialogue and how Saddam Hussein never left, never traveled, Ahmadinejad never saw other cultures. So it's very hard for those people to be open-minded. I remember an incident where a lot of Jewish organizations started complaining to our hosting company that there are pages talking and saying bad things about Jews on Jeeran. And we got those complaints. And what we told those people is, Jeeran is free, and you can come and create a page on Jeeran and talk to the Arabs, talk to the Muslims, and tell them what you think. And that actually started happening. And one of the comments was on my personal site. There was a lot of, racist comments from a guy called Mike. I can't remember the family name. It was very long ago. And I replied to him, telling him, I see your point, but this is how we Arabs see, the whole thing about Israel and Palestine. What ended up happening is, 2 months later, I was teaching him Arabic through email, and he was teaching me how to play the guitar through email. Because he's a guitar player and he wanted to learn Arabic, and I was teaching him how to pronounce letters. So this is the kind of thing that the social media and the new media can create. And the strength is that it's out there, it's open, and nobody can block it. I mean, governments can try, but they can never really block it. A lot of smart people have figured out ways to go around it. And we're very happy. We don't mind anybody using the platform for spreading any kind of message, except that, messages of hate, violence, these are some things that we don't accept, but anything else is open. Going back to the idea of user-generated content, and this is really what has been driving the internet. It's not the technologies, it's not the connectivity even in many ways. It's not the devices that people talk about today. It's mainly the content. If we look at Jordan, for example, the internet penetration has increased in the last few years. And I am certain, although our government doesn't want to admit it, Facebook, MySpace, and Twitter today, takes a lot of the credit for that. It's not the government and the regulations they make every day. The user-generated content is is there, and it's driving the internet. All the innovations that are happening today are driven by user-generated content. And we've figured out that the strongest driver, the strongest source of content is from the people, from the street, and that people were starting to get bored from reading CNN and looking, if you look at CNN, you look at CBS, and you look at, all the other news portals, you find the same things, the same headlines, and the same stereotypes. Even if you look at Arab media, it's almost the same thing, the same stereotypes, it's just worded differently. But if you go to blogs and you go to Twitter today, you find very different opinions, very different wordings, and different perspectives of things being published online. And we believe that as Jeeran, we're dedicated more to driving user-generated content. We are the largest blogging site on the internet. A study was released last year saying that 70% of blogs in Egypt reside on Jeeran. So this makes us very, very, we have a very deep hand when it comes to pushing content, and our cooperation with Donatella and Joy and the Creative Commons organization comes to further enhance that mission. And Donatella mentioned that we are launching a channel with Creative Commons to educate the Arabic media and the Arabic people and the Arabic bloggers and everyone about sharing content and what the Creative Commons can mean for Arabs. There's a joke I always say, we Arabs always believed in sharing content on the internet, but people called it piracy. We were sharing content. Now I believe that piracy and of content, of simple types of content is not very well understood in the Arab world. People think that piracy is when you steal software or when you steal a movie, but you steal a photograph and you put it on your blog in your post. This is piracy as well. So with this channel, we're trying to educate people and hopefully enhance and educate people about the ways of sharing content.